All right, hello everybody, Zaxter99 here with another video. It's been a long time since I've made a video talking about my favorite football team, the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan, a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan since I was just 6 years old, and I will never, change teams. I've been through them through the Tom Landry era, through all the quarterbacks, all the bad quarterbacks they had after Danny White, like Gary Hogaboom and Steve Pelluer, and then we had Aikman, but then after Aikman, man, we've been through a lot of quarterbacks like Chad Hutchinson and who am I thinking of? Quincy Carter and Ryan Leaf of all people. We went through Tony Romo and saw Tony Romo's skills. I still say that Tony Romo is one of the most underrated quarterbacks of all time in the NFL for his ability to take the Cowboys from what would have been like 2-14 teams and 3-13 teams. Tony Romo took the Dallas Cowboys to 8-8 and 9-7 and stuff like that so many years on his skills and his ability to make plays out of nothing all by himself. I still say I love Dak Prescott, but I still say Tony Romo was more, had more raw talent than Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott probably has more, more savvy leadership skills, more poise in the pocket than Romo ever had. But man, was Romo a fun gunslinger to watch. Anyway, guys, let's go back to current times. Let's talk about Zeke Elliott. And I want to talk about how back in the draft when the Cowboys, Zeke Elliott was drafted, myself as well as a lot of people thought the Cowboys were going to take a defensive player like Jeremy Bosa that year. Bosa was a big defensive guy. The Cowboys needed defensive help. And pretty much everybody thought the Cowboys were going to take Bosa with that top draft pick they had. But I was really hoping and praying and watching, hoping the Cowboys took Ezekiel Elliott, knowing that Zeke Elliott offered some special talent that I believe would turn well and turn the Cowboys into a hell of a running game, after they drafted him. And to my surprise, the Cowboys took him. I was super happy. I was jumping up and down, hooping and hollering. I knew the Cowboys had a star. The Cowboys did make a good draft pick with Ezekiel Elliott that draft. But right now, guys, I would drop Ezekiel Elliott for this guy right here, Jay Ajayi. Jay Ajayi is a really good running back out of Boise State. And right now, the Cowboys could get Jay Ajayi for probably $1 million per year or less. I think he just signed for the Eagles for like minimum, salary of like $700,000 for the Eagles. He had a torn ACL, but now he's fully recovered. He's fully healed. He's ready to return, and he's looking for a team. The Cowboys are probably going to re-sign Ezekiel Elliott to some monster deal. But I think as a Cowboys fan, as a lifelong Cowboys fan, and as a huge fan of Zeke Elliott myself, I think Zeke Elliott is showing himself to be way too selfish of a player and not putting his teammates before himself, much less his team. Zeke's teammates, his quarterback, Dak Prescott, and the star receiver they got out of the Raiders in Amari Cooper both need quarterbacks before Zeke Elliott needs his. Zeke still has 2 years left on his rookie deal. And Dak Prescott is on his last year now, and so is Amari Cooper. And there's a lot of other young, talent with the Cowboys that needs to get paid. Byron Jones is a great cornerback that's probably going to want $14-15 million per year to re-sign. I think Byron Jones, as a great defensive corner, is more important to the Cowboys than is Zeke Elliott. The reason I say this is because it's not a run-first league anymore. Now, I know the Cowboys are built to run, but with that big offensive line the Cowboys had, or they have, with Travis Frederick coming back, assuming Travis Frederick is healthy like he says he is, I think you could plug in Jay Ajayi or a bunch of, just decent backs, and they would have good years for the Cowboys. Now, Jay Ajayi might have a half a yard less per average, running, but a running back like Jay Ajayi is also good at catching, balls out of the backfield and catching those short over the middle passes. And I think that would suit Dak Prescott just fine. I think Jay Ajayi would help open up the receiving. just as much or just about as much as Zeke Elliott would. And I think the value for the Cowboys would definitely be to change the running back position to some up-and-comer like Jay Ajayi, or maybe trade for, a running back with a couple of draft picks. The reason I say this, guys, is because of two things. Zeke Elliott is showing he is not a team player. He showed he wasn't a team player by getting in trouble again last May when he knocked over a security guard backwards over the railing because of something the security guard said or because he looked at him wrong or whatever. Zeke got in trouble again and risked getting suspended again. And now that that guy's decided to press charges, who knows? Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, may come back and decide to suspend Zeke Elliott to show him a lesson. The point is, Zeke Elliott is not a team player. He continues to get in trouble, and now he shows he's very, very selfish by holding out and demanding a big contract before his teammates get paid first. Teammates that deserve and need to get paid before him. Now, I know that, the opportunities to make a big contract as an up-and-coming running back are pretty small. But still, Zeke Elliott is showing that he is very immature. He is, a running back for the Dallas Cowboys, the America's team that is super popular, and we have all kinds of young kids and youth looking up to this guy in admiration while he's going out and getting drunk and making stupid mistakes. The Cowboys could better use that $15, $16, $17 million a year that Zeke is wanting and put that into more important players, in my opinion, like Dak Prescott, receiver Amari Cooper, cornerback Byron Jones, and their up-and-coming defensive linebackers like, Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith. All this talent is going to need to get paid, and all this talent is more important than Zeke Elliott, in my opinion. But I'd like to know your opinion. Let me know if you guys are a Cowboys fan or who you're a fan of and what you think about my opinions here. Do you think the Cowboys should trade Zeke Elliott right now, or should they cave in and pay him, which they're probably going to do? I'd love to know. This has been Zach29. Take care, everybody.